Darkness clung to the house, heavy and silent. Emily stirred, the rhythmic tick-tock of the grandfather clock in the hall a steady reminder of the late hour. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, then silence. An unsettling quiet. It was then she heard it, a faint tapping, hesitant and soft, like a whisper against the front door. She sat up in bed, heart pounding. The knocking came again, a little louder this time. Fear pricked at her skin, but curiosity battled for dominance. She crept through the silent house, each step echoing in the stillness. The heavy oak door creaked open, revealing nothing. Emily peered into the night, her eyes straining to see through the thick veil of darkness. She was searching for any sign of movement, any hint that she wasn't alone. Had it been the wind, a stray animal, or something more sinister lurking in the shadows? But the stillness was absolute, an eerie silence that seemed to swallow every sound. She scanned the street, her heart pounding, but there was nothing, just an empty, deserted road. Confused and frightened, Emily stepped back, preparing to close the door, her mind racing with possibilities. That's when she saw it, a faint outline emerging from the shadows. A small, ornate box rested on her welcome mat, almost hidden in the shadows as if it had been placed there deliberately. It was made of dark, polished wood, its surface intricately carved with strange symbols that seemed to tell a story. Hesitantly, Emily bent down and picked up the box, feeling a chill run down her spine. It was heavier than it looked, cold and smooth against her skin, as if it held secrets within. With a mixture of curiosity and trepidation, Emily carried the box inside, closing and locking the door behind her, sealing herself in with the unknown. The carvings on the box seemed to writhe and twist, almost as if they were alive, under the living room light casting eerie shadows on the walls. Emily found herself drawn to them, unable to tear her gaze away. The intricate patterns seemed to tell a story, one she was desperate to uncover. Taking a deep breath, Emily lifted the lid of the box, her heart pounding in her chest. It creaked open, releasing a musty, ancient smell that filled the room, making her feel as if she had stepped back in time. Inside, nestled in faded velvet lining, lay a single object, a small, silver-backed mirror, its surface reflecting the dim light. The mirror was old, its surface tarnished and dull, yet it seemed to hold a mysterious allure. Yet there was something about it that drew Emily in. A sense of history and secrets waiting to be discovered. She reached out, her fingers trembling slightly, and picked it up, feeling a strange connection to the object. It was lighter than she expected and strangely warm to the touch, almost as if it had a life of its own. As she held the mirror up, Emily caught a glimpse of her reflection, distorted and ghostly in the tarnished surface, sending a shiver down her spine, down her. Panic surged through Emily as she stared into the mirror. The reflection's eyes, cold and black, seemed to bore into her very soul. It was her, yet not her, a twisted doppelganger that sent chills down her spine. She tried to look away, to drop the mirror, but she found herself frozen. The reflection's lips curved into a slow, cruel smile. Terror choked Emily's throat, making it impossible to scream. Slowly, the reflection in the mirror began to move. Its movements jerky and unnatural. It raised a hand, its fingers long and bony, and pointed directly at Emily. The reflection's mouth moved, forming words that Emily couldn't hear but could feel echoing in her mind. They were words of darkness and despair, promises of pain and suffering. Emily struggled against the invisible force that held her captive, her heart pounding. She wanted to scream, to run, to do anything to escape the nightmare, but the mirror held her fast, its power absolute. Emily was trapped, her fate sealed by the ancient evil within the mirror. As the reflection continued its silent torment, Emily felt a strange pull, a sensation of being drawn into the mirror's cold embrace. Time seemed to stand still, each tick of the grandfather clock an eternity. The room was filled with an eerie silence, broken only by the relentless ticking. The reflection in the mirror grew stronger, its features becoming more distinct. It was as if the figure was trying to break through the glass, to reach out to Emily. Emily felt herself slipping away, her grip on reality fading. Her mind was a whirlwind of confusion and fear, the boundaries between the real and the unreal blurring. Just when she thought she could take no more, a faint light appeared on the horizon. It was a beacon of hope, a promise of a new beginning, the first hint of dawn, a sliver of hope piercing the oppressive darkness. The sky began to change, the dark clouds giving way to the gentle hues of morning. As the light grew stronger, the reflection in the mirror seemed to weaken. The ghostly figure that had haunted her began to fade, its power diminishing with the rising sun. With a desperate surge of strength, Emily tore her gaze from the mirror and dropped it to the floor. The sound of shattering glass echoed in the room, a final break from the nightmare. Exhausted, trembling, Emily collapsed onto the sofa, her eyes fixed on the eastern sky as the sun slowly rose. The warmth of the new day began to fill the room, bringing with it a sense of peace and renewal.